I am heading to get my lips done. Now, I know that it's probably getting very irritating with my videos that I do a lot of like drive to the appointment, but don't take you into the appointment. So I thought I would just take the opportunity to explain why I kind of have to do that. So most of my appointments are not with an esthetician, a freestanding esthetician. They're with a med spa, which is covered under HIPAA. So that means that I can't film inside the doctor's office at all because I can't catch another patient in the background. Quite frankly, I don't know how people do it. And the only way I can come up with is their doctor is facilitating a situation in which they are alone or nurse practitioner is facilitating a situation in which they are alone or in a portion of the office alone, because I just can't. And the way that my doctor's office is set up, there's 2 rooms. So there's just so much jiggling happening with the camera. Yay, roads that have not been fixed in years. I'm not judging. Anyway, so the way the office is set up is that there's 2 rooms. One has a door on it, and I think they use that for like the laser hair removal treatments and things like that. The other one doesn't. And it's very open, modern kind of concept. And then of course there's the bathrooms and things like that. But if anybody comes into the back and they close a curtain while you're back there, if anybody comes into the back to go into the other room, I can see them like in and around the cracks. I just don't want to risk a situation where I accidentally film somebody under a HIPAA thing. I really don't want to risk it. So that's just my own personal choice. I'm not even willing to ask the doctor if I can do it. So that's just where we stand with that. Okay, so I'm going to get my lips done. I don't have any makeup on because I've been running around today. But normally to the lip injection appointments, lip injection only. I don't care whether I've got makeup on or not. They're only injecting right here. I don't get filler anywhere else in my face. So they're not putting a hole anywhere where there's makeup. I mean, it's easy to take the lipstick off. Now, I will say this. They frequently go all the way around my lips when they're removing the makeup. As usual, they don't fix your makeup. So if you have a lot of makeup on, they're not gonna blend this at all. So not a big deal when you're walking out to the car. It just is what it is. If your foundation's matched fairly well, you can quite happily go about your business and nobody will ever notice. Where I run into trouble with that is in the winter, when I get filler in the winter, because my makeup is a little more, it's not as sheer. It's a little bit more opaque, and so it's a little bit more obvious when it comes off. But normally on these appointments, I don't really care about that. They take the lipstick off if I'm wearing any, and that's sort of the end of it. So I'm going to go. They do lidocaine you up. For those of you who have not viewed the last few videos, I will say that I will reiterate that I metabolize lidocaine really fast. And so they put it on, they let it sit for 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 or however many minutes they feel like they need to do it. I'll be pretty good and freaking numb for a little while, and generally speaking, right around the time they wipe it off, I start to metabolize right on through it. So my med spa has started offering dental blockers. So what those are the shots your dentist gives you in order to work on your teeth when he has to drill your teeth. This actually is fairly effective for me. Now, those shots are no fun either. So, you kind of got to pick your poison. Lip filler without pain reliever is not fun. So whatever you do, you got to do something. Now, the lip filler does have lidocaine in it. So once it's in your lips, you don't really feel it, which creates kind of an interesting phenomena. About a couple of hours after your appointment, your lips get real freaking sore, like really sore. And if you're prone to bruising, which I am, you'll get bruises. I tend to get them right on the sides of my lips, but they're not, they can be kind of a deep purple, but they're easy to cover up. So I'm not particularly bothered by them. Once I did have a bruise over here that went up onto my skin area, but depending on how well I knew you, I either told you the truth or I made a story up about a freak landscaping accident. So anyway, hold on. Then let's see. So I mean, there's no real downtime. There's no real recovery. I mean, no recovery time. Now, I will say this, a bit of advice. Before you go to your first lip injection appointment, I would say that this is true for any injection or any filler that you get, rather. Anything that's going to alter your face, that you are getting plumped, under eyes, which I occasionally get, cheeks, jawline, anything where you're injecting something into your face and altering it. Take a before picture, because you will really quickly forget what you looked like before the injections. It's really bizarre. Like you don't think you changed that much, and you have. So take a before picture, and then you'll get your lips done. And now, I did have my under eyes done. I'm still not entirely sold on that, so I may give it another go. It was not quite the same with the eyes, but when I got my lips done, the first 2-3 days after the injections, my lips are really swollen. Now, weirdly enough, no matter how much you insist going into the appointment that you do not want big freaking lips, I guarantee you, day 2, you're going to be like, oh, these lips are great. I love these lips. And then, yes, I have to look for other people in their cars. Then, on day 3-4, the swelling suddenly goes down, and I mean suddenly, and then you're going to feel like all the filler went away somewhere. So you're going to want that picture, because you're going to want to look back at it and be like, oh no, there it is, I see it. Now, if you have a reputable doctor or nurse practitioner, generally what they'll do is they'll start you out on a smaller level and work your way up. There's a couple reasons for that. One is you can dissolve them, but why do that if you can just save the time and go slow? The second reason is if you go too much too fast, your lip will roll, and that will expose this mucosa under here, and bad things happen when that's exposed to the air. It's made to be wet. It's supposed to stay wet. When it's not wet, bad things happen. But also, that's how you get duckbill mouth. So you don't want to go too big too fast. So generally, you kind of go small, and then you may bump up to a full syringe, and then you can go from there. But always refer back to that first picture, lest you look like, I'm not going to name names, but lest you look like a celebrity who has forgotten what lips are supposed to look like. So there's that. Let's see, what else? Go slow, take a before picture, communicate with your doctor. If your lips turn white, immediately call your doctor. That means, generally speaking, they've hit a blood vessel, they've blocked a blood vessel, and if you ignore that, your lip will die. So if your lips turn white, or I'm pretty sure it's white, then call your doctor immediately, because you got to go back in and they'll dissolve it and you can either start over again or decide that that was, you know, the great being's sign that you needed to like move on from the idea. So I think that's it for the time being. So I'm going to run in, I'm going to get this done, and then I'm going to come out and I can show you guys what I look like. The swelling initially is not that bad. It's like a lot of pain related swelling, where at first you're kind of like, oh, it's not that bad. And then as the day goes on, you're like, oh, my poor mouth, what have I done? That only lasts for a little while though. It's really not unbearable. It depends on how much of a wimp you are and how much, how high your pain tolerance is. Now, like I said, I metabolize lidocaine pretty fast, and I really do experience massive amounts of pain whenever lidocaine, and I still get it. So it's not like it's unbearable, but obviously I have a very high tolerance for pain. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. Speaking of which, I got my lip blush redone. I'll zoom in. You can see. So some things I did different. I changed the color. So you can go darker but not lighter. And the reason I did this was because when the pink faded out to the like blushy tone that it gets, it started to look like old lipstick to me as opposed to a blush. So I went darker. Now at the second visit you can go darker, but you can't go lighter. So I went a little darker, a little more natural. I really do think I like this better. But that said, I can already tell it's not going to be obvious. It's not going to be as obvious there's anything on my lips when it starts to fade out to the blush color. So there was a trade-off. Take it for what it's worth. Other than that, it was the same. At the top, pain level was the same. She did lidocaine, and that wore off a hot damn minute after she put it on. And so it was excruciatingly painful. Now, I did not bleed as much this time. It did not take as long. The appointment did not take as long. And the recovery time was a hell of a lot quicker, probably because there really wasn't that much to do. She'd already filled in, so she's just going back and evening out the tone. That first appointment, when it heals, you'll start to see that it's not even, and there are places where the color didn't take, so she's just filling that in. So yeah, all in all, the second visit, a lot easier and a lot quicker. So very, very, very pleased, actually, all in all. As pleased as I was last time. The jury's still out because it's kind of early. I may decide that the color was terrible, so when I get it touched up, and that should be in a year or two, I may do another color change, so we'll see. Such is my fickleness. But yeah, so I'm gonna go get this done. And oh, one more thing, if you're prone to cold sores, start taking your medication before you get the lip injections. Lip injections are very aggravating to your lips. So you don't want to be swollen, dealing with new lips and a cold sore, because gross. So anyway, I will see you in a bit. Okay, so I got them done. I'm in the parking lot, so let me stop. Now you can see they're swollen, but not too bad. I actually look like I've been crying more than anything, but my lips tend to look like that when whenever somebody's been messing around with them. Overall, this is what they look like on day two. Now on day one. Now they feel like, or hour one, I should say. I hung around talking to the ladies in the office for a little while, so the lidocaine is wearing off. Now today I opted not to get the dental blocker just because I wasn't feeling it, to be honest with you. Here's the thing with the dental blocker. If you have a high tolerance for pain, and the lidocaine works on you, then the dental blocker, which hurt, I mean, you've been to the dentist and gotten one, then you know getting the dental blocker itself hurts. So I just, I got in there, I wasn't really feeling it, and So I opted out of it. We just did the lidocaine, and it works fine. I have a high tolerance for pain, and it took enough that it took the edge off. So they do a full syringe on me, which is 1 ml, and they kind of do it evenly. Now, a lot of people think they want like just their upper lip done or just their lower lip done, and you really don't. And in fact, in all my years of getting my lips done, I will say never have I ever come across somebody who'll do that to you. You think you want it, but I think the reason they don't do it to you is because then you end up looking funny. And let me put it this way. If you've ever gotten a fat lip, like your top lip gets fat, but your bottom lip doesn't, I think that's what happens. That's the look you get. Or that in reverse. Your bottom lip gets fat, but your top lip doesn't. It makes it difficult to move your lips and things like that. So that's why they don't do it. Now, a few things that I wanted to let you know, because I forgot. Believe it or not, I completely forgot about it. So anyway, the injections do hurt. It feels like a big pinch, and then they go in and they kind of like pull the needle out while they're squeezing it, and this leaves like a little tube of the filler inside your lip. When the filler comes out of the syringe, it actually feels like little tiny pinpricks, which is kind of weird. But I don't know if other people feel that, or if it's just me, because I am so funny about lidocaine. So take that for what it's worth. Once they've injected you all up, they massage it around. So you should not feel lumps, bumps, balls, nodules, nothing. You should not feel like you have anything in your lips. So if you do, like after the swelling goes down, suddenly stuff starts to pop up, just call your practitioner or your doctor or whoever's doing it for you, and they can fix that. I've never had that happen, so I don't know how they fix it, but they do massage it around when you get it. Now, I will say this, you can massage it out of place if you're not careful. You want to give it time to kind of get into the fiber of your tissue before you start messing around with it. So don't be tempted to try to help something along, because it can move. And a good doctor will be careful about putting it in your lips, because you can end up with this weird, like if you've ever seen anybody where their lips come out of the bottom of their nose and there's no real line of demarcation between this area and the lip, that's generally because the filler, they're putting so much filler in there that it's migrating up into this area. So it does move around if you're not careful. So anyway, there's that. I'll just pop in for the remainder of the video and show you as the swelling is going down and coming back and going down and coming back, and you guys can see what it actually looks like. I'll try I forgot to take before pictures. I know, my advice. So I don't have any right now, and I will try to see if I can come up with a way to show you some side-by-sides of how they look as they progress, so you guys can see. The biggest piece of advice I could give you, having not done this, is take your before pictures and then really compare your pictures when the swelling goes down, because you're going to feel like your filler disappeared, and it really didn't. So that's it for now. I will come back on in a couple of hours and show you. Sometimes the swelling gets worse. Sometimes it starts to go down right away. I'm so weird about stuff like this, because like I never seem to react the same twice in a row. So there you go. Anyway, I will, I'll be back. Talk to you later. So I was gonna put sunglasses on, but I couldn't find them. Okay, so this is where it gets kind of dangerous, because they're swollen, and they're swollen by at this point today, all the way through the end of the day, maybe even tomorrow. They're swollen enough that you can see a definite difference in their overall appearance, but not so swollen that you feel like people are staring at you. And so you're gonna really like these. But they don't stay like this. So, and I always think I should take a picture and bring this to my next appointment and be like, this is how I want to look. But I don't want to look done. And I think that that's sort of the key, is how done do you want to look? Let me erase this. Okay, so that's really what you've got to consider. How obvious do I want it that I get lip injections? And this is what I've realized. For me, it's not that done. I want it to look natural, because people will say things. People have very strong opinions about what, for some reason, what you get done to your face. I don't know. It's just really odd. But the more done you look, and you guys know what I mean by that, right? The more it looks like you're having something done to your face, the more people will say things. I'm just not ready for that. Honestly, that's just not who I am as a person. Some people don't really care about that. Some people actually do like that look and they like those comments. I don't care. No shame. You do you. That's just not me. So I don't even like it when people say, oh my gosh, you look like you've lost weight, or oh my gosh, you look like, I don't even like that. Like, that's how bad I do not want people commenting on my appearance. So that was a deciding factor for me. Second, what I realize about myself, and I actually realized this many years ago in relation to my hair, I do really good with maintenance appointments of any kind related to any service I get if while I'm there I book the follow-up. If I can't book the follow-up, then I literally, I don't know. I wish I were high maintenance enough to be like, oh, my filler's down. Like, I see people on YouTube going, oh, I need to get my filler. And I'm like, really? Because you look exactly the same today as you did 6 months ago. I just don't understand how you know it needs to be done. I'm more of the, has it been 1.5 years since I got it filled? So if you get them really large and you're that same type of person, you're gonna look very different in January than you do in December, and then come the next December, you know what I mean? Like, your face is gonna constantly be looking sort of different. And I mean, honestly, I think that looks kind of it looks trashy to me. I'm sorry, it just does. It's kind of like walking around with one fingernail undone or broken, or having fake nails that needed to fill 4 weeks ago and you're still holding on to them. I just, like, it just looks awful. So my feeling is, because that is the type of person I am, there's no point in getting visibly different lips and then having them to go down. Now, the argument, there's a very good argument for this. The argument could be had that if I got the bigger lips where they were really overdone, I would know, it would be easier for me to tell, oh, I need more filler. And yes, in that case, I am absolutely the type of person. Look, if I break a fingernail, I am in the salon the same day getting it fixed. And I don't really care if you charge me for it. I'm not walking around like that. I'm sorry, it's just not happening. My great disappointment in life right now is that I took my acrylics off to let my fingers kind of like have a moment. I'm gonna get them put back on. So anyway, there's that. So you got to consider that. So I guess that's really it for today. Go ahead and end here. I will continue to follow up with you guys so you know what's going on with these, and we can go from there. Anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. Hi everybody. Okay, so it is Saturday and I got my lips done on Wednesday. So you can see the swelling has gone down significantly. I was reminded of something. So the swelling goes down weirdly, at least for me, in that it's not like everything gets big uniformly and then it goes down uniformly. It's more like there are pockets where it's swelling and there are pockets where the swelling's going down. So don't confuse swollen spots with the nodules and freak out. Nodules feel like BBs underneath the skin, and those are where the filler is doing something wonky. You want to call your practitioner and have them fix it. Swelling going down is something else entirely. So I have one, it was like on the inside of my lip right here, and I kept, you know how you do, you fiddle with it with your tongue, and I was kind of concerned about it, and then like literally by the end of the day the swelling went down and it was gone. So that wasn't a nodule. So but other than that, it's really going down. Now, I do still have some tenderness, but not so I notice normally. It's like, okay, this morning I was taking a drink of my water, which I left at home. Dang it. I was taking a drink of my water, and you know how you do, you bump your mouth with the water bottle like a little too hard sometimes. Normally not a big deal. This one I was like, ugh, that was not fun. So it doesn't hurt unless it hurts, and then it hurts. It is then you're reminded, probably because there's bruises under there that I can't see because I've had my lips blushed. I know in the past when I have had fillers put in anywhere on my face, under my eyes, I had 2 black eyes, and then on my philtrum I had that's the 2 little lines right here that create the divot. I had those down, and I had like a big giant bruise right here, and it looked nasty. So yeah, but I'm a bruiser, I'm a bleeder, I don't know, you suck it up. You look terrible for a while, you invent some really cool story if you don't want to tell people, otherwise you just wide open say, yeah, I got filler, don't judge me, I won't judge you. But yeah, so it's really coming along nicely. They are looking full, but not too full. I don't feel like I've got hot dogs on my lips, so, or like I'm wearing those. Do you guys remember Halloween? Were they candy or were they just like wax that you chewed on? Did you put these lips in your mouth? Oh gosh, they were nasty and honestly not appropriate. But anyway, so that's it. I think I'm going to close out this vlog. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. And this was not my first rodeo with the lip filler. I just had to let the lip filler dissolve and kind of go away in order to get my lips blushed. Both of which I can link down below, or actually in the video if I can figure out how to do that. Still learning. But other than that, I think I'm going to close the vlog, and this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed what you see. Please leave a like and a comment if you do, so I know what kind of content to put out. I don't have hardly any subscribers yet, so I don't really know what you guys are looking for, but I love feedback, good and bad, as long as it's constructive and not just bad. So leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next round.